Hey, how y'all doing out there? Back at you again with another video. Today I'd like to talk about the Note 5 in 2020. How has it aged? Well, this phone was released in 2015, so the phone is 5 years old. So it's been out for quite some time. So you know it's not going to be quite on par with a lot of these other newer devices. But should you even consider it? Should you pick it up? Well, let's see. Let's see what it has. So first we're looking at here a 5.7-inch Super AMOLED display with Gorilla Glass 4 with the aluminum frame. So I'll just tell you right now, the build quality on this phone is excellent. Samsung always makes great phones when it comes to build quality. Build quality is always on par. So when you hold this phone in your hand, you're holding a quality device, a premium device. Remember, this was a flagship device at one time when it came out. Next thing, you got Android 7. So unfortunately, there will be no more OS updates for this device. So Android 7, as far as you're gonna go as far as updates, unless you can root the phone, which most people don't do. Only the real, computer savvy people do that. I've never rooted a phone, but those that know how to do it, if you can root it and get Android 10. So that's a possibility. All right, next thing, you have the Exynos 7420 octa-core processor. So unfortunately, when Samsung released this device back in 2015, they didn't use the Snapdragon chipset in this particular device. I don't know why, I don't remember, but no Snapdragon. It has the Exynos, and for some reason, Samsung's Exynos has never been as efficient as the Snapdragon, at least not in my experience. So keep that in mind when you're considering picking up this device, if you decide to pick it up at all. All right, this device has no expandable memory, and that's something that really bothered not only me, but a lot of Note fans when this phone was first released, because the Notes have always had expandable memory. So when they took away expandable memory in this phone, it really pissed a lot of people off. I just have to say it that way, because that's what it did. It definitely upset me, upset a lot of people. So when they came out with the Note 7, they automatically put it back in, because that was a major thing they did wrong, taking away expandable memory. And you only had a 32 gig option and a 64 gig option, I believe. Or they could have had a 128 gig option, but you always have to pay a lot more money to get a larger storage. So I'm glad that's something they actually put back in their Notes after that debacle, because that was not good. Next thing, you're not getting an always on display. Now, they didn't start putting always on displays on their phones until the Note 7, so there's no always on display. Also, there's no IP68 water and dust resistance. They didn't start doing that until the Note 7. Also, no face unlock. So there's also no face unlock on this particular phone. This phone comes with 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of internal memory. It does have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. That's when Samsung was still putting headphone jacks on their devices. You have one single downfiring speaker that is average at best. It's a mono speaker. So don't look for no stereo sound. You're not getting that out of this particular device. You got a fingerprint sensor that's on the front. This is when Samsung still was implementing their fingerprint sensors on the front of the device. Now, it's not like the Note 4 where you had to swipe. With this phone, all you had to do was push the home button, which is also the fingerprint sensor, and just basically you push it and hold, it automatically open the phone. So it is pretty fast and pretty accurate. This phone also comes with a 3,000 milliamp battery. Now, the battery life on this phone is not that great. I'm just sorry, it's just not. You might get 3.5 to 4 hours of screen on time, maybe. I doubt it though. So the battery life is not all that great. It's just not. Maybe if you implement power saving mode, you might get more battery, but it's mediocre battery life, unfortunately. You're getting 15 watt quick charging 2.0, which is relatively what Samsung had in their devices up until the Note 10. It was just quick charge 2.0, which was pretty slow compared to the competition. Like it takes basically an hour and 42 minutes from 0 to 100%. And you might get 38, 40% in 30 minutes, maybe, if that. So it's pretty slow. You are getting Samsung Pay. You're getting NFC. You're getting a heart rate monitor. You are getting wireless charging, and you're getting Bluetooth 4.2. So no Bluetooth 5.0. All right. On the back of the phone, you got one camera. You got a 16 megapixel main camera, which was wide. It shoots at 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 30 and 60 frames per second with electronic image stabilization. On the front, you got a 5 megapixel wide that shoots at 4K at 30 frames per second. And also, last but not least, you have the S Pen. Oh boy. Seems like I'm having trouble getting this thing out. Seems like it really got pushed up in there. Looked like it got jammed up in there. Okay, so sorry y'all, I can't get the S Pen out. It seemed like it's jammed in there. Now, I had given this phone to my mom. She had had it for the last, I guess, year or so, maybe longer. So I was letting her use it. So I don't know if she put the S Pen in there wrong and jammed it up. I don't know, but I can't seem to get it out. So I'm not gonna worry about it right now. But this phone, even though it's 5 years old, it still has a beautiful AMOLED display. It's beautiful, super AMOLED display. You do have some big bezels here because this was the way the phones were being done at this particular time. You got your fingerprint sensor right here on the front. I'll show you how quick it is. You just press and hold, come right open. So it's very, very fast. Like it's faster than my in-display fingerprint sensor on my Note 10 Plus, and that's a shame, but it is. Okay, you got your volume rockers on the left, and you got your power button on the right. And even with this model, they started putting the power button up high. It should be right here where my thumb is resting, but it's up here. So I don't know why Samsung kept putting the power button up so high. I don't understand it why. At the bottom, you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, your speaker, and your USB Type C. This is not USB Type C, unfortunately. US Type B. USB Type B. Well, y'all know what I'm saying. It's not USB Type C, okay? All right, and you got your S Pen. Now, for some reason, I can't, I think my mom jammed this all up, can't get it out. But I'm going to say, based on what I told you, build quality does take fairly decent pictures. The picture quality is not bad, but of course, it's not up to where these newer cameras are. It just has older software. So the cameras, were always going to be, they're going to be decent, but they're not going to be outstanding photos. The video quality is going to be good, but it's not going to be as good as the newer model phone. Remember, this phone is 5 years old. So you got to consider that. Now, is it still a well-built phone? Absolutely. And when you start opening up apps and things like that, it is slow. You got to remember it's 5 years old. So, and it's not getting any more updates. So all that stuff is affecting it. That's why at some point, and I know there's a lot of people out there, you do what you have to do as far as some people just can't afford to get newer phones because they're just too expensive and they rather get older phones. But just don't get phones that are 5 and 6 years old because the software is going to give you problems. Unless you just don't care about speed at all, then I say go ahead and go for this because it's dirt cheap. But if you care about some type of speed and you just want your phone to be secure, because this is not getting any security updates either. So I don't think you want to mess around with a phone with no more software updates and no more security support. I don't think you want to do that, especially in this day and age, with the way people try to hack your information. So I can't recommend this device. Now, to have it as a backup device, just in case you lose your device or get broken or something happen just for emergencies, yeah, I say definitely, keep it around, don't throw it away, especially if it still works. And you're still going to get great display quality. Like if you watch any type of movies or media content on this, you're going to enjoy this display. It's a beautiful display. There's no question about it. But I can't recommend this phone in 2020. It's just too old. The software is just too old. No more security updates. It is slow. So I just can't recommend it. But, it was a great device. While it was out. Unfortunately, another one of the issues that had too when it first came out, when you started to use it a lot, it would really heat up. Even with a case on it, you could feel the heat coming up off the back of the phone. So this wasn't one of my favorite Note phones. Honestly, it just wasn't. I would say the Note 4 was my favorite at that time, and then the Note 7. I really liked the Note 7, and then of course I didn't really care for the Note 8 that much. It was okay. The Note 9 I actually love, and the Note 10 is just the ultimate beast. So Note 10 is definitely my favorite all-time Note. Even though it's missing a few things that the older Notes had, but it's just my all-time, best Note phone ever made so far. So that was just my quick look back at the Note 5. How has it aged? The display is still great. The battery life's mediocre. The software, you're not getting more updates. It's kind of slow. Cameras are still fairly decent. So it's okay. It hasn't aged all that great. I'll be honest with you. It just hasn't. And I can't, like I said, I can't recommend for anybody to pick up this phone because it's just too old. You just can't. Sometimes at some point, you just gotta let certain phones. You just gotta let them go. But is this good for a backup emergency phone? Yes, definitely. All right, thanks for taking this time to view this content. I do appreciate you. Thank you to all my subscribers out there. We're over 300 and keep counting. So hopefully we'll get to, it'd be nice if we got to 1,000 this year, but if it don't happen, it's all good. I do this for the love. I just really enjoy doing tech videos and also my biblical videos. I love both. So hope you guys staying safe out there. I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.